this video, we go birding for several rare bird targets. We find 2 lifers for the first time in a long time, and a handful of other rare visitors. Come with me on this adventure, and let's see what birds we can find.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video today. I'm joined here by Peter and Caleb, per usual. And we're down in Utah County, currently at the Payson City Cemetery. Now, there's a lifer chance for me here, and that's a yellow-bellied sapsucker. Obviously, as a lifer, it'd also be a state bird, which would bring us one step closer to our goal of 300 species in the state of Utah. We also have another prospect later today, the Mexican duck, hanging out as well in Utah County. So let's hopefully see these 2 birds. Yeah, hopefully get some good views of these lifers, and honestly just hope that we find both of them. Let's see what birds we can find today.
We began scanning every single tree in the cemetery, hoping to catch a glimpse of the elusive sapsucker. Our first bird of the day was the stunning black-billed magpie. These birds tend to get a lot of hate in the United States for some reason, but they really are absolutely stunning. Something that made birding by ear extremely difficult was the large presence of European starlings. These birds are obviously invasive to the United States, but they're also mimics, meaning that it's near impossible to hear what's actually around us. Northern flickers kept us on our toes, being the most abundant woodpecker present at the cemetery. These birds brought back memories of 2 years ago when I searched for the gilded flicker in the Salt Lake City Cemetery, and the first time I birded with hawk in the lens.
Never assume that a hunt for any bird is going to be easy. We split up and walk around the cemetery looking for the sapsucker, and unfortunately just no sign of it so far. We have a little bit while longer that we're going to try to track it down, and the sun is coming up and warming things up quickly, so hopefully that creates more activity for the birds. But yeah, not an easy hunt either, not an easy lifer. We're gonna have to try hard to find this one.
Perched atop a tree was this house finch. I'm trying to get every bird on camera as I go this year, even the common ones. Now, can you tell me what this bird is? Caleb was walking and spotted some owl pellets on the ground and white feathers scattered throughout the branches. 5 minutes later, I finally found the bird in a small gap in the trees, an American barn owl. Unfortunately, we couldn't find any other view of this bird because this tree was super thick and the bird was fully encased in the thick pine.
Well, we got a sapsucker, and it was really exciting because Caleb spotted it. We ran over here, and it's a red-naped sapsucker. Still a decently difficult bird to find in the state this time of year. They're not unheard of, obviously, and they're especially hanging out in cemeteries, but it's the more common of the 2 species. I have obviously seen many red-naped sapsuckers over the years, but it's good to know that there is a sapsucker here that we haven't found yet, which means that the yellow-bellied, we know the yellow-bellied's here. We just got to track it down. So let's keep going and see if we can find it.
My favorite sparrow, the dark-eyed junco, foraged on the ground in the grass looking for food. It's been so warm here in Utah lately that it's a bit weird seeing the birds without the snow. A bit surprising to see in the cemetery, but we found a young bald eagle perched in a tree on the outskirts. Many people might see this and say, oh, that's a golden eagle. But bald eagles don't get that plain white head until year 5. So this is a first year or a second year bird.
Much more.
Yeah. What the frick? Alright, so we just picked up my lifer, yellow-bellied sapsucker. Obviously first for the state as well. That takes us one step closer to 300 birds in the state of Utah. Absolutely incredible views. They were very brief views, but we got on the bird, focused. Couldn't have asked for better sighting of that yellow-bellied sapsucker. Absolutely stunning bird. I think this is a young bird, so it's not as vibrant as a sapsucker could be. But yeah, absolutely incredible that we picked up that bird. I'm super excited about that. A lifer after, I think my last lifer was in November and it was in California. So it's been a while, but we finally got one on the list. We should get a second one today with that Mexican duck. And we just heard from some friends that white-winged doves are in the area as well. So we have a lot more targets to look for. Stick with me. Let's see what else we can find. All right, so we just drove to our next location, which is the Provo River Delta. And this is where we're gonna try to find the Mexican duck. Apparently it's a really easy bird to run into. Looks very similar to a mallard, but it has a bright yellow bill, a little more division between its body, plumage, and its head. Really beautiful though, so we'll definitely check it out. There's an American kestrel hawking up here, hovering, I should say, in the air. But on the way here, we did stop and I got white-winged doves just in a random neighborhood. My friend Robbie told us about them, so we went and stopped, and that's a really, really good bird for Utah County this far north. Typically, you can only find them on the southern edge of the state, so absolutely incredible to see those birds. I do have them for the state of Utah, but it's definitely a Utah County first, and I just broke 200 here in Utah County. So hopefully we find this Mexican duck, and let's see what other birds we can find today.
Walking along the Provo River, we found several common goldeneye. Always worth checking them for Barrow's goldeneye. Probably the most well-known duck in North America, the mallard, are always around at local parks and ponds. And they're severely underrated in how beautiful they actually are. Another bird out on the water was this pied-billed grebe. We took our time heading towards the Mexican duck, knowing it might be one of the easiest lifers I've ever gotten before. And without fail, there it was. My lifer Mexican duck, and another bird closer to my goal of finding 300 species in the state of Utah. This duck was absolutely incredible. It was also one of the chillest lifers I've ever found. These birds are not normally found in the state of Utah, but one shows up every once in a while. The bird was super chill and allowed us to get super close with awesome footage. I also got a whole bunch of photos as well, so make sure you go follow me over on Instagram. Eventually, I'll get to posting those photos. This is such an underrated, beautiful duck.
Absolutely incredible, but we walked right up to where that duck has been seen, the Mexican duck, and we picked it up right away. Just really great views. It was just chilling there, and yeah, you can tell it's a Mexican duck because it has that very yellow olivish bill, and it also doesn't have that curl on its tail, amongst a few other more subtle differences. But pretty awesome bird. It's been hanging out here for a while, and that's a lifer for me. 2 lifers in one day. I haven't been able to say I've gotten that recently, so I'll take it. We still got a little bit more birding to do, so let's see if we can find anything else.
We made our way over to Utah Lake State Park and found ourselves a couple of red-breasted mergansers, uncommon for this time of year. Soaring high in the air above us were 2 red-tailed hawks. One featured a normal plumage and the other was a dark morph. It was cool seeing them circle each other up high in the sky. We made our way along the banks of Utah Lake, spotting a flock of gulls out on the water. But swimming across the water was also a flock of common mergansers to go with our red-breasted mergansers from earlier. A glaucous-winged gull was spotted a few days prior, but the only different gulls we could find were these American herring gulls, being a bit larger and with pink legs. This next group of gulls is mostly ring-billed gulls, but can you spot the different gull amongst the crowd? I'll give you one hint. It's a California gull.
All right, so after the Mexican duck, we ended up kind of taking a little bit of a detour. We came over here to Provo River Delta, which is just across the road. And now we're at Utah Lake State Park. There's a plane flying over me, so I'm sorry if you can't hear me. But just got my best looks ever at a long-tailed duck. Now, this one is a female, I believe. So not super bright like some of the males, and it also lacks that really long tail like the males have. But very up close views with this duck, and they're absolutely a treat to see whenever they come to the state of Utah. We get a couple of them annually, and yeah, they're just a rare Arctic duck species that drops down sometimes this far in the winter. Absolutely incredible to see that bird, and I don't know what we're gonna go see now, but I'll keep you updated. And today's just been absolutely incredible. 3 rare birds, 2 lifers. You can't really ask for better than that. 4 rare birds technically, because we got the white-winged doves as well. Let's go.
We don't get to see long-tailed ducks up close like this very often, so I'm going to let everyone enjoy this winter visitor for just a bit longer. We ended up leaving the park and along the way spotted a hawk up on a telephone post. We got excited because it looked different as we went flying by on the highway. But when we turned around to give it a closer look, it turns out that it was just a young red-tailed hawk.
All right, so we just decided to keep the good vibes going, and we're now here at a pond adjacent to the Timpanogos golf course over here. And we're looking for a Eurasian widgeon. There's one that typically shows up here annually. Unfortunately, you got to find the widgeon before you can find the Eurasian widgeon. And where they are, a lot of times, they're not here today. So they do bounce around these ponds sometimes, so we got to check a few different spots. We did get our first of the year, black-crowned night heron. It's really tucked into the trees back here, so not the best of views, but still an awesome bird to pick up for the day. We're almost to 100 species on the year. Absolutely incredible. We're at 98, I believe. So 2 more birds to go until we reach that 100 milestone for 2026. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, let's hopefully see if we can find this Eurasian widgeon. There's some other creatures walking around. We got some coots over here, and I think some pintails out in the front of us here. But just an awesome day overall. Whenever you get 2 lifers and you see 4 rare birds in one day. Oh my goodness, I forgot to mention the 4th rare bird. We were literally just stopped at one of those construction traffic lights where you wait till your turn to go because it's one way. And on the basketball hoop was a rare bird, black phoebe, really far north. For this time of year, they do come up into Utah County, especially in those warmer months. But this time of year, there's typically not enough insect action to attract a black phoebe this far. But it's been so warm. Today's 51 degrees. Tomorrow's going to be almost 60 degrees. So we have a black phoebe, and it was just sitting on the side of the road there. So our 4th rare bird of the day, absolutely incredible.
Unfortunately, when we found the widgeons, the Eurasian widgeon was nowhere to be found. But we ended the day with 5 rarities, 2 lifers, and 101 species for the first month of 2026. As always, thank you so much for joining me on this journey. I hope to see you all next time on Bright-Eyed Birding.